folks that are my age or older that know history, we recognize some repeating phenomenon in all the shit that's going on. Anyone around 35 or 30, about in that vicinity in time, age, it starts to be a blur. And the younger you get from there, all this seems like a crock of shit. Like there's no way they could be like this. Because you young folks, you have been indoctrinated. You've been encouraged to be reckless, show disregard for, being organized. Yeah, just all-inclusive social media acceptance, virtue signaling, all this, extra shit. And they've trained you to feel like you can say whatever the fuck you want to say on social media and have no consequence. And they've trained you to be unable to have a face-to-face conversation and feel empathy for someone else. They've made you callous. They've blinded you to the real opportunities that are before you, and they've painted you inside of a small little prison that many of you are hearing me talk through right now. Your whole world is inside that phone. Everything you do, everything you hope to do, where your attention is, and they own and direct that. All from that little box that you pay too much money for each month. And they even remind you and force you to do these updates on your phone that makes it obsolete by design. So that way you go out and buy it again in 2 years. All this shit you've fallen victim to. But you all think that you're smart. Like you got it all figured out. These young people, you think you have so much more insight because the technology that you have grown up around is taught you to no longer even be human. The things that my generation and those older than me, you have no idea what it was like for us to grow up in a situation where we would go outside and stay out until the streetlights come on. That's how you didn't see your kids until the streetlights came on. And if you knew your ass wasn't home at the time, you knew you're in trouble. And other people would look out for your other neighbors' children. When I had children young, I wouldn't let my fucking kids go out and do the things that I did as a kid because the world's different. You grew up in the tech world. Game Boys, cell phone, social media. Your perception of the world has absolutely been controlled and directed, scripted. My generation, we're Gen Xers. We're the generation that basically will tell you to your face, you're full of shit, go fuck yourself. We're that transitional generation. We saw technology begin. We watched the internet come up. We were there when AOL would, all that handshaking sound that it would make when the modem connected you. Our generation saw that. We watched that birth. And you're walking around feeling like you own everything. And when someone like me and people that are smarter than me share our time, share our insight, our views on how to make sure you're prepared, you're probably not going to hear it like you should because you think you're smarter. You think you're more edgier. You got more technology behind you. Oh, you're an old head. You don't know nothing. I'm hoping that you don't do that with this conversation tonight. Because you don't want to find out that you dismissed something that sounds too far-fetched to be possibly real. But then when you wake up in the middle of it, you feel like a fool because you didn't do anything about it. If you're young and you have the energy and the time to do so, and you can work another job and help your family if you're still living home with mom and dad, some of you are doing that. Some of you went to college, couldn't do it, had to move back in with your parents. Hey man, I had to do that with my aunt and uncle. I had to do that. There's no shame in that. That's family. That's what families do. But it's weird you don't see that dynamic in the family element today. Most families are fighting each other, hating each other because of what? Everything that's been going on. They can't afford it. They can't fucking deal with the pressure, the stress. And it hasn't even really started yet. Some of you that asked for opportunities to sit and talk with me, and if you could just meet me and let's go to a pub, let's go to a bar, let's have a drink. I don't drink alcohol. I would just like to sit and talk and pick your brain. If you did, this is the conversation I'd have with you. And you wouldn't want to have this conversation with me. So I've never really wanted the opportunity to present itself. This is what's on my heart. I know what's coming. You have time now. You have opportunity right now. You have resources being given to you for free. Experience, wisdom, proof, evidence. What are you going to do with it? You're going to waste it? You're going to take advantage of it? Think it's going to always be here? Oh, ICT, he'll be back here next year. He's talking shit. I might not be. You might not be. You can't defer things years away from now. We don't have that luxury anymore. Some of you, I'm going to say this and I'm going to close it. I did warn you we're going to have a long one. Some of you probably have a spouse, a partner, a significant other, that they don't know that we had this conversation tonight. They just know I'm that guy that takes up too much of your time talking about trading and breakers and order blocks and fair value gaps, and you probably shared your excitement and your hopes and dreams of what you're going to be able to do with this information and how it's going to impact you and your family. That's wonderful. I hope that exactly unfolds just like you want it to. I hope that's what happens. And maybe you're thinking now, when this ends, the normal jacked up feeling that you feel like you're energized, you're all pumped up. It's hard to reach for that right now, isn't it? You want me to somehow say I've been pulling your leg, this has all been a joke just to troll you. It's not. And this is probably going to be a conversation that you don't want to even mention to them. But them knowing who you are, they're probably going to see you and you're going to read you like a book. They're going to say, what's wrong? And some of you are going to dismiss it and be like, oh, nothing. To which they'll know is a lie. And others will be like, well, I just listened to that guy. Up until tonight, he's been a pretty good source of information. But now I think I got to second guess all that stuff. That's normal for you to feel that. You'd be crazy if you didn't at least feel that. Lord knows I know. When it was laid on my heart to say it in 2019, all the way through 2020 and 21 and 22, and now we're here in 2023. 2016, before Trump got elected, when I was telling everybody he's going to get elected and he's going to be used as a fall guy. And America's going to become Venezuela 2.0. Everybody laughed. Everybody laughed. I said, we're going to have a banana republic in this country. And guess what? Look around. None of our government fucking knows what the hell's going on. They're all Muppets. How can we have faith in this? Regardless of what party you're in. It's nonsense. And it's designed. It's designed to get people pissed the fuck off. So they can start acting like fools. Uncivilized fools. Go out in the streets so they can do what? Martial law. And when martial law kicks off, it never will go away. We will become a police nation. A police state. Across the whole 50 states. And that noose will be tightened. And there's nothing you're going to do to stop it. The worst thing you can do is when it starts kicking off, start acting like a fool. Don't get out there and act like a vigilante. You think you're going to do something. You ain't doing shit. You got to protect your family. Stay safe. I used to say, good luck, good trading. Notice I don't say that anymore. I want you to be thinking about how you and your family can be safe. Be a gray man. Don't draw attention to yourself. But what the fuck are you doing right now, ICT? You're talking to all these people listening to us shit. They probably think you're nuts. I don't give a fuck. I feel like I gotta say it. I'm saying it. I don't care what your feelings are about me. My conscience is clean. I don't have to worry about it anymore. If it doesn't happen and you all get to laugh at me, so what? If you listen and you prepare, guess what? You got groceries for a while. You don't have to buy new groceries. And I eat canned goods that are 3 years old, and I ain't never got sick eating it. You rotate it. Add members in my membership. I bought extra canned goods, and it didn't get ugly in my country. And now my food's bad. Wasted money. If you threw that away, you did waste money. Those Best Buy dates are just for you to go buy more. Sorry. But you've probably been talked to too much tonight, and you want a silver lining in all this. I wish I had one. For the last 13 years, I have used all of you as a wonderful distraction to what I knew what was coming. And I struggled with courage to come out and talk about this more openly. And that's what I regret. I wish, and I know most of you would have dismissed me, said this guy's full of shit. It ain't gonna never happen. He's got some good technical analysis, but he's a weirdo. But the people that's been with me for a long time, that were with me when I was on Twitter before, and they started censoring my tweets, that's why I left Twitter. Nobody ran me off Twitter, but Twitter. When I was trying to post things and it never made it there, that was enough for me. I was talking too much. So I said, I'm out of here. The folks that were with me back then know I said that Trump was going to be elected and I was not supporting him. I told you all then, I'm not voting for him. I've never voted in my life, ever. My faith is that none of that shit works. And I think Reagan was the last real elected president. And they tried to pull shenanigans with his ass too. And ever since then, you were selected. Can I do anything about it? Nope. I'm not losing any sleep over it either. They're going to run this shit like the way they want to run it. You ain't changing it. Your vote ain't changing shit. Regardless of what side you're on, it won't matter. So the worst thing you can do is take what I'm telling you and get all worked up into a frenzy and try to do something stupid, because you ain't changing it. It's written. It's going to happen. You ain't no changing it. And if you're on the fence about it happening, just wait around. You'll see. You'll be convinced of it shortly. When it kicks off, it gets really fast after that. So I've tried to live my life reaching as many as I possibly could in the way that I felt was the safest. I think that was the best way of thinking about it like that. Dropping breadcrumbs as I went, getting confident, talk a little bit more, getting confident, tell a little bit more. But I don't have an answer to it. I'd be lying if I said that I thought I was going to figure out an answer early on. But there isn't, Andy. It's going to happen. There's a lot of you out in the world that would say, well, if it's going to happen, I would have rather not known. Just let it happen. Knowing about it is going to give me something to worry about. Well, what about your family members, your children? Wouldn't you want to make the best at the time? Doesn't it kind of change your perspective on what you do with your time now? Knowing that there's so many sudden, abrupt changes that are coming, and the freedoms that we have right now, take advantage of them.